Good morning. We have probably another 2 feet that's fallen since I've talked to you last. And I've been busy shoveling and then coming inside, cup of coffee, and back out. Even help the neighbors a little bit. It's crazy, but beautiful, right? Look at that. And what strikes me as I'm out here shoveling, that thing that we learned in kindergarten, that every single snowflake is unique, that not one of these has been duplicated. Here, let me show you what. The abundance of God is what's so striking to me. Every single snowflake is unique, right? And then we have tons and tons of snow, and this is on the valley floor. I can't even imagine what's happening up at the ski resorts at Tahoe. But when I think of the uniqueness of what God has created, what the divine puts together, and I look at all that's here, I'm struck by what I just said a moment ago, the abundance of God. God doesn't just give us what we need or just enough. God gives us more than we need. God gives us way more than we need. And that's not just in weather, but it's also in our lives. Sometimes, especially during a pandemic, we feel very much what we're missing, what's not present. We miss those freedom, the opportunities to gather and to connect and to move around without the anxiety of wondering if you're going to convey, transmit, or catch a deadly virus. But what I'm struck with here is that in my life, even in a pandemic, when I feel what's missing and lacking, if I have the eyes to see, I can see the abundance of God. So the test for us is that when we feel like there's not enough, we need to look further. We need to look deeper, because this is God's MO. This is the way the divine works. The divine works through abundance, always offering us more than we need. So think about what's lacking in your life, and then think about what there's more of than you'd ever want to know, ever want to believe. And some of it only happens when push comes to shove. Pandemic time, for example. When we can't just busily go about our lives ignoring all the other things that are happening because we're so distracted by what we're doing, but rather paying attention then to looking deeper. What has God provided me more than enough of? It's like that story of Cana where Jesus changes water to wine, right? I mean, not just wine, but the best wine. Everything God provides comes from God's heart, and therefore it's the best. So, in order to be as grateful as possible for what God is doing for us, it's important for us to see how much God offers, even in the tiniest snowflake, right? Here we have a tiny little snow clump, and we know that this is thousands and thousands of little tiny snowflakes that are absolutely unique. I hold them on my hand, they'll melt. What abundance is there in your life? What's easy to miss? Thank God today for the abundance, and keep your eyes open, because God's not just going to give you what you need. It's always more than what you need, because that's what a generous, loving heart does for those that are loved.